What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Commander crew. My name is Corey.
I'm Josh.
What's up? It's Eddie.
Oh, Jesus. Okay. Yeah, that's how we're doing the intros from now on, guys. I think we should all do that, like, Sailor Moon. Like, I'm
I'm
Corey.
sorry,
Oh my
Josh.
god, this is amazing.
All right. Let's just keep going. Let's just keep going.
Oh man. Um. All right. Hey. So today we're gonna be doing another deck tech. We're gonna talk about Morophon and my zombie tribal build. So to start us off, let's tell you who Morophon is. So Morophon the Boundless. He's a 7-drop. So he costs 7 generic mana. For a 6/6 legendary creature, shapeshifter. For a changeling that says, as Morophon the Boundless enters the battlefield, choose a creature type.
Yep.
And then spells of the chosen type that you cast cost Wooburg less to cast. This effect reduces only the amount of the colored mana that you pay. And then other creatures that you control of the chosen type get +1/+1. So my entire build falls completely around him and zombies. So the whole reason that I chose this deck is I love zombie tribal. I've done countless. I mean, Corey can attest to this. I've done countless zombie tribal
It's
decks.
true.
One of them was Grimgrin. I've done Scarab God. I even did and this is going off the whole commander topic, but I even went to a GP, and it's the best that I've ever done in a standard tournament was with my zombie tribal standard deck. What was that, like last year? Something like
2 years
that.
ago.
2 years ago. Yeah.
Well,
So
technically it was a year. It was 2018.
two
2018
GPs
GP.
ago.
2 GPs ago.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. But yeah, like I don't know. I don't really know what my draw is to it. It probably has to do with how well supported they are. And maybe the whole reanimator thing, because I love playing cards out of my graveyard. But yeah, zombies have kind of always been my go-to. So getting into the deck, as far as the breakdown, the key creatures that are in this deck fall around a whole bunch of different abilities, but we're gonna start off with our anthems. So in the deck we have 10 different anthem cards, plus Morophon. So that's not even including Morophon. With him, that's 11 total anthem cards. 7 of those cards are zombies. Um,
So real quick, what
yeah,
just so everyone knows, anthem effect means it's like a pump effect. So like Morophon gives all the creatures +1/+1. Anthem effects just mean they pump your team up, like power toughness. Sorry, good.
yeah. No, you're good. Exactly right. So, um, we have Cemetery Reaper, Death Baron, Diagraph Captain. I'm sure Corey will put some images on here, so I
Yep.
won't read through them all. But just to name a few, these are creatures that are literally giving all of our zombies +1/+1, and then a lot of them have some other abilities that help us to either get through and deal additional damage, or help us to kind of whittle down our opponent's life totals, which is really cool. A quick special mention is Unsettled Mariner. Unsettled Mariner is a two
That
drop.
doesn't
So
look like
it's
a zombie.
no, it's actually one of 2 cards in the deck that are not zombies. So this one here is a 2 drop. It's a white and a blue for creature shapeshifter changeling. Uh, 2/2 that says whenever you or permanent you control becomes the target of a spell or ability an opponent controls, counter that spell or ability unless its controller pays 1. So it's a little bit of protection for all of our zombies. And I wanted to bring that up just because it's a very new card. It's from Modern Horizons, I believe.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah. Um, so yeah, just to bring that one up.
That's a good card.
Um,
I like that card a lot.
yeah, pretty just about any tribal that you can play white or blue, white and blue in. Um, you should probably throw that in there just to help add a little bit more protection to
Yeah.
your creatures. Moving on to ramp. So there's 10 total ramp spells. But the one that I really want to talk about is Fist of Suns. So Fist of Suns in itself isn't exactly a ramp spell. Instead, it's a card that says, where is it?
So it's 3 generic mana for an artifact. It says you may pay Wooburg, so 1 of each color, rather than pay the mana cost for spells you cast.
Exactly. And this card with Marathon is crazy because it basically means that any creatures that you go to cast are going to be free. So
Yeah.
you're literally not paying any mana for casting your creatures, which is
As long
phenomenal.
as they're the creature type, which in your case,
Yeah.
you're not worried about it. They're all
Everything
everything except Scarab God.
I like free things.
Gotcha. Everything except for 2. Yeah. What'd you say?
What's the other one?
I like free things.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Free
Grave
things
Titan.
are always nice.
Yeah, most definitely. What'd you say, Corey?
I was looking for the other thing. So you have Grave Titan isn't a zombie, and
Ghoul Caller Gissa.
oh,
Yeah.
oh, so okay, so you have 3 things that aren't zombies then.
Yeah.
Cool.
So as far as the other ramp spells outside of Fist of Suns, it's your typical Cultivate, Explosive Vegetation, Farseek. That's actually one of the biggest benefits of using Morophon as the commander, is that you can tap into colors like green for things that they do really well with. So green is amazing at ramping. And being able to play cards like Cultivate, Explosive Vegetation, Farseek, Rampant Growth, all of those cards, it's amazing, and it helps to really move you forward with this deck. Moving past that into card draw, so the first card that I actually want to talk about here is Verena. So Verena is one, a white, a blue, and a black for a 4/4 legendary zombie wizard that says whenever you attack with 1 or more zombies, draw that many cards, then discard that many cards, you gain that much life. And then it also has an additional ability that says pay 2, exile 2 cards from your graveyard, create a tap 2/2 black zombie creature token. So the reason that I bring this one up is when I saw this card, what was it, last year that it came out, Corey? 2 years ago?
This is the 2018 commander decks. So this was in the Aminatu Planeswalker commander deck.
When I saw this card, I've wanted to build around it ever since, and I love the idea of being able to splash white into the typical blue black or mono black zombie build.
Yep.
And this card was just amazing, and I never actually got a chance to build anything with her. So when I decided to build go with Morophon for my commander, I had to throw her in there because being able to splash white in there, just there's no reason not to have her there.
Yeah.
And then the second card I want to talk about with card draw is Graveborn Muse, which is 2 black for a 3/3 zombie spirit that says at the beginning of your upkeep you draw X cards and lose X life, where X is the number of zombies that you control. So with this card, be careful. Be really, really careful, because you are going to have a lot of zombies on the battlefield. Listen, in this deck alone, 30 different creatures. The majority, I mean, what we say, all but 3 of them were zombies.
Yeah.
You're gonna have a ton of zombies on the battlefield. Be really, really, really cautious and pay attention to what you have on there. And that's before any of the token generation and all of that stuff comes into play. You're going to be drawing a ton of cards with this card without question, but just be cautious to not either deck yourself or lose so much life that it's killing yourself. Exactly. Those are probably that's probably the best card draw engine in this deck by far.
Yeah.
As far as payoff cards, so we have 5 cards that'll drain opponents in from just zombies entering the battlefield. And then we also have 18 token generators. So 18 total cards that help to generate tokens in this deck. 14 of them are generating zombies. One of them is, of course, Smothering Tide, because you're not going to build a deck in white without that.
Nope.
And then we have 3 other cards that just double everything. So I have Parallel Lives, Doubling Season, and Anointed Procession all in here. to help really drive along the token engine and create as many zombies as we possibly can.
And I think that's really cool. And I was asking you earlier before we were recording, like I was a little confused. Like, why would you do Morophon with zombies when you really only have two colors that zombies kind of come in? And now that I'm kind of seeing the support you get in like green and white and actually I guess mainly green for like your token doublers and your mana ramp, like you're tapping into that 5-color ability with, or the ability to have 5 colors with Morophon to get all this extra value that a typical black blue zombie deck or even the black white zombie deck, black white blue, just wouldn't get.
Yeah, I mean in what was that set called? Hour of Devastation?
Yeah. Yep.
No, what was before Hour of Devastation?
Amonkhet.
In Amonkhet, they released a bunch of new zombies, and they were outside of the typical black blue.
Yep.
So being able to utilize some of those definitely comes in handy. So moving forward, we also have a lot of self recursion in this deck. I of course had to throw the gods in there, so we have God Eternal Bantu.
Yep.
Which by using him, we can basically have him enter the battlefield, sack a bunch of creatures, and then draw that many cards. But what's nice is that if he ever dies, you throw him third from the top in your library, and you can kind of recur him a little bit that way. And then we also threw in God Eternal Oketra, which has that same recursion ability, but also has an ability that helps to generate additional creature tokens, zombie creature tokens specifically, which is phenomenal. Of course, we have Scarab God because Scarab God is amazing.
Because why not?
Zombie. Yeah, seriously. Scarab God is great for a number of different reasons. One, he's self-recurs himself. Two, he'll exile a card from the graveyard and create more zombie tokens from that. And then three, he has that static ability that says at the beginning of your upkeep, each opponent loses X life and scry X, where X is the number of zombies that you control. And that's just ridiculous. When you have your card draw engine really online, and when you're just draining people, all of your opponents for life, it helps to really move this deck along.
That's scary.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever feared a Scarab God.
Dude, Scarab God's nuts.
But now thinking about the potential board state you're gonna have, and how going through your deck list, how what's the word I'm looking for? How consistent your deck will be at getting a lot of zombies.
Yeah.
And then you drop a Scarab God, and was it on your upkeep? You all lose life.
Yep.
That's horrible.
Yeah.
That's horrible. You're mean.
Yeah. Well,
oh man,
it's what I do, I guess.
So now, have you thought about adding? Oh God, what was that artifact that was really big in that Amonkhet standard, where it was like, not Gate to the Afterlife, but it was the one where like the beginning of your upkeep, or you like pay some amount of mana, and you can bring a creature back from your graveyard to the battlefield as a 4/4 zombie.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
Oh my God, it's gonna drive me crazy.
It's fine. Just put an image up of it, and
it's right here.
Everyone will know what we're talking about. But
there it is.
Oh, you found it?
No, I'm saying like it's right. It's on the screen for them to see.
Oh, all right, cool. No, so the reason that I didn't think of that or I didn't go for something like that is because of the amount of recursion that I want in this deck.
Yeah.
I want to be able to make sure that I'm able to bring things back from the graveyard in a very consistent manner, and too many cards that do something similar to what Scarab God does could actually hurt my graveyard capabilities.
Yeah.
So in this deck, I have 11 different cards that are able to either recur themselves or recur other creatures. And I want to make sure that I can do that very consistently without having to exile my graveyard.
Yeah, that's smart. That makes sense.
So that's the whole reason I didn't go into that. Now, as far as recursion goes,
God Pharaoh's Gift. Got it.
God Pharaoh's Gift. Yeah.
Sorry.
No, you're fine. as far as recursion goes, probably the best card in this deck is Patriarch's Bidding. So it's 3 and 2 black for sorcery that says each player chooses a creature type. Each player returns all creature cards of the type of the chosen type from his graveyard to the battlefield.
Huh.
So that card's nuts. So if you think about it, I'm obviously going to be choosing zombies. Let's say it passes priority over to you, Corey, and then you, Josh, and each of you guys are choosing a creature type. It's reasonable to say that you guys are only pulling 1 to 2 creatures out of your graveyard, whereas I'm pulling an absurd amount of creatures out of my graveyard. I might be getting 10 creatures at once, entering the battlefield, having all their ETB effects happen, and all that life drain happen, where when a creature enters the battlefield, target player loses 1 life, or each opponent loses 1 life with some of the cards that I have in here. So that card is just absolutely bonkers in this deck.
So basically what we do to fight this now is we just play strictly tribal decks.
Oh yeah.
I'll just play Kamena every game. It doesn't matter.
A couple years ago, that was kind of a thing when what was it, Commander 2017, when Edgar Markov and all those other commanders were out, and everything was big tribal.
Yeah, it was like cats, dragons, vampires, and wizards.
Yep. Oh, I forgot about wizards. That's one I couldn't think of.
Because it was a garbage deck.
Yeah, that wasn't
they had some good cards in it, but overall it was just garbage.
Yeah.
Cool.
So moving forward, the way that this deck wins. So this deck wins primarily by smashing face. Now, don't get me wrong. It can drain opponents with enter the battlefield effects, but I really only have 4 or 5 cards that are able to do that.
Yeah.
The bulk of this deck is all about just making your creatures really, really big and then swinging in to deal damage. The way that we go about doing that and making it really easy for us to do that is by using cards like Noxious Ghoul. So Noxious Ghoul is 3 and 2 black for a 3/3 zombie that says whenever Noxious Ghoul or another zombie enters the battlefield, all non-zombie creatures get -1/-1 until end of turn. So how that helps is while all these ETB effects are happening, that creature's on the battlefield. I'm playing a whole bunch of zombies, and I'm literally killing everybody else's creatures that are out on the battlefield, just from other zombies entering the battlefield. Then we also have Kindred Dominance, which is 5 black and a black for a sorcery that says choose a creature type, destroy all creatures that aren't of the chosen type. So in this deck, that's pretty much a in Grook's Wake, where I'm destroying everybody else's creatures, but leaving mine untouched.
All non-zombies.
Yeah,
that's cool. That's a good card. That's from the 2017 tribal decks too, and I think that's one of the better board wipes that came out of the precons in a while.
4 tribal. Yeah, 4 tribal, definitely.
4 tribal. Oh, of course. Yeah.
We also have Cyclonic Rift. I don't think we have to explain what that card does.
Nope.
And then Liliana Dreadhorde General. Corey, you want to talk about that? You really love that card.
Oh, I love this card so much. We talked about this a little bit in Josh's deck tech. So this is the Planeswalker. Josh, calm down. It's
I'm trying to keep it all internal,
It's Liliana Dreadhorde General. She is 4 black for a legendary Planeswalker, and she has a static ability like all the War of the Spark Planeswalkers did, which was whenever a creature you control dies, draw a card draw. Her +1 is create a 2/2 black zombie creature token. Her -4 is each player sacrifices 2 creatures. That includes yourself, but when a creature you control dies, you draw 2 cards, or you draw a card, excuse me. And her -9 is each opponent chooses a permanent they control of each permanent type and then sacrifices the rest.
Yeah, so it's completely crazy, and if you can build her up to that ultimate, it's insane.
Yep.
Now, I do want to say, like I said a little while ago, doubling season is in this deck, so it is possible to have doubling season on the battlefield, play this Liliana, and then just win the game on the spot, theoretically, because you would assume that your opponents are scooping once they only have 1 land left.
Probably.
Yeah. Last couple of ways that we have to win with this deck are Triumph of the Hordes, which is 2, a green, and it says until end of turn, creatures you control get +1/+1, trample, and infect.
It's Chris's favorite card.
Yeah. Too bad he's not here
I know, right?
to scream about it. Um, and then the last piece is just a typical combo, but I try to make it a little bit jankier, as opposed to using the typical colorless spells that make this combo a little bit easier and a little more broken. I used Deathbringer Thoctor, which basically when it enters the battle, sorry, basically when another creature dies or uh, yeah, when another creature dies, you put a 1/1 counter on it, and then it has an ability on it, which is the part that we really care about, which says remove a 1/1 counter from it, and it deals 1 damage to target creature or player. Now, if you combo this with Micaeus, the Unhallowed, basically it gives that creature Undying, and you can kind of cycle that over and over and over again
Yep.
by sacrificing a creature and using the +1 ability to the +1 counter to deal 1 damage to another opponent.
That's
So
pretty busted.
I made it a little more convoluted in this deck just to not make it feel super busted, but um if you can put it together in this deck, it's a lot of fun.
It looks like a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I dig it.
Cool.
I got a question. How come? Is there a reason, or I was thinking like maybe with a zombie deck we would lean to a little more towards like a embalm kind of mechanic, where you get the creature token of the creature. Like, I don't know, say like Angel of Sanctions. He creates a zombie token of her, and then we can kind of like double in seasons that, and you can just go kind of crazy with that. I don't know.
Yeah, so
That's just something I would do.
the reason that I don't go in that direction all revolves around the graveyard. So
Yeah.
I love playing out of my graveyard, and I like my graveyard to always be there because it's an extension of your hand. If you're playing with it the right way, and when you play cards like that with Embalm, while they could be really optimal in other decks and other strategies, when I'm playing them, exiling something from my graveyard means I have one less card in my hand. You know what I mean?
And if someone removes that
Yeah.
token, the embalm token, you're done. That creature's gone.
Yeah,
You have no way to get
Yeah.
it back, which stings.
exactly.
Okay.
Yeah, I agree. I think embalm is a cool mechanic, but in a different deck. Like I had a Temet, the whatever the Amonkhet dude who said like tokens are unblockable. That was heavy around embalm because I could like kill off really good creatures to turn them into tokens that were unblockable. But in this bill where it's just strictly like zombies and graveyard recursion and stuff like that, I agree with Eddie. I think the embalm is good, but somewhere else.
Okay.
It's cool. I like it. And like I said earlier, like I was confused at first. Like, why would you do Morophon with just like a creature type that really was only in the realm of like 2 or 3 colors? And I'm starting to see now exactly why you did it, and it makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, it falls into the same reason that I love Soul Tie so much. There's so many powerful spells in green and blue and black, and to be able to put all of those together makes it really useful. You know what I mean?
Yeah, giving
So in
you
this
access
one, it's
is nice.
exactly. In this one, we do those 3 plus black and a little bit of red, very little bit of red,
Yeah.
and it helps. It makes it a lot of fun.
Very cool.
Yeah. When we talked about we're gonna do a Morophon zombie deck, at first I was like, I think Eddie made a jank deck, but now like look at the deck list, I'm like, hey, this is actually like very formidable. Like, don't
Yeah.
sleep on this deck. Don't sleep on it.
Yeah. No, I agree. I definitely agree.
Yeah, if I could get it put together before Sunday, you guys will be seeing it very, very soon.
Well, we'll be seeing it.
I
You
actually
won't
would
be
like to
seeing
see
it.
an action. That'd be fairly fun. I want to see how it
Well,
works.
yeah,
like,
I'm
it
just
looks
talking
really
to you
cool.
guys right now.
Yeah. Let us know if you want to see this played out in a gameplay video, which you can go to the link in the show notes below to watch the C19 live gameplay video. It's right down. It's up right now. Cool. I like this deck. I enjoy it quite a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm always intrigued by these decks. Decks like I when he tells me like about a deck, I never like really comprehend from the time like the moment he tells me about it, I'm like, it probably is not that good. But then he like comes up with some like full genius like cards and like combinations, and I'm like before Morophon zombies, I'm like, I would never build this deck, and like now like going over this deck tech and like actually like visualizing it happening, I'm like, this deck's pretty sick.
Yeah.
How does Eddie come up with these decks, man? And there's always like a couple of mean cards he always plays that I don't want happen. It's always a couple of mean cards.
I think that's the perfect way to describe Eddie's playstyle. It's like it's awesome decks, but there's just a couple of mean cards.
like when I kept stealing his Atraxa.
Yeah, right.
I don't want to talk about that. We don't. I'm still going over some emotions with that. I'm seeing a counselor about that. I wasn't allowed to play Magic.
That's funny. All right. Well,
don't steal super.
Don't steal. Don't steal each other's planeswalkers.
Yes.
Or commanders. That's the worst thing to do. Like if you steal someone's commander, you're like,
oh, that's the best.
What do I do now?
Most people put their deck so heavily around their commander that when you make their commander a non-option, their deck is like inoperable.
Redundancy, folks. Build in redundancy.
Yeah, go heavy with it.
Maybe we'll do a whole episode about it at some point.
We should.
Yeah.
Redundancy.
Redundancy. All right, cool. All right. Well, any final words on the deck? Any final thoughts?
I think this thing is gonna was an absolute blast to build, and it's gonna be even more fun when I'm beating all of you guys with it.
All right, we'll see. We'll see how it goes.
Is there any infinite combos with Machias that we know about ahead of time?
I said it.
Yeah, the Deathbringer.
Oh yeah. Oh no.
Yeah, but you have to have the sack outlet online. So like.
Yeah. Don't you have
Corey?
What?
You're gonna counter it for us, right?
Yeah, I'll just take I'll take an extra turn spell. I won't give any turns. Don't worry.
That makes sense.
All right, cool. Well, thank you so much, everybody, for watching yet another deck tech from us. We really have enjoyed making these for. So if you enjoyed watching this, please go ahead and hit that thumbs up button. It really does help us know that you enjoy the content you're seeing. Josh is doing a thing. He'll do that more for you. Every time you hit a thumbs up, Josh is gonna, wherever he is, Josh will be doing that. So thank you. We really appreciate you watching. Make sure you comment. Have you built a Morophon deck? What tribe did you build in Morophon? Did you do zombies? Did you do avatars? Did you do pirates? Whatever. What did you build? Let us know in the comments below. And make sure, if you haven't already, please consider hitting that subscribe button. We really appreciate when you do, and we love seeing everyone interacting with us. So, all right, guys. Well, any final words from Josh or Eddie? Anything from you guys before we go?
Morophon Gods coming soon.
Ooh.
That's mean. Let's just hug in a Super Friends fashion.
It's gonna be Josh's tagline. Let's just hug it out, guys.
Let's just hug it out.
All right, guys. Thank you.
In a Super Friends fashion.
Just Super Friends hug. Super Friends hug me. Hug. All right, cool. Awesome, guys. Thank you so much for watching. And as always, who's your commander?